Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 30 of Podcast of Five Rings, your source of enlightenment in the realm of video games, tabletop, anime, film, and tech. Each episode of Podcast of Five Rings releases Monday mornings on iTunes and Soundcloud. Now, got topic day by day on YouTube with the full video releasing on Friday. Catch updates about the podcast or for other news, give us a follow on your social media platform of choice. Listen in the description below. I'm your host, GM, and overseer of Podcast of Five Rings, Obsidian, joined tonight by the Dark Fortune Duelist, Meta.
Rar.
The resident wildcard, Mao.
Yo.
And the spirit of Tetsuo, who has fallen to the plague. Tetsuo will not be with us tonight. He's ill.
Oh, man.
Need to carry more Jade.
Don't worry. He's a rank 8 defender of the wall. He can just negate that condition.
Well, he didn't spend his void point, Meta, or whatever he has to do.
He doesn't have to. A rank 3 defender of the wall can
well, then why isn't he here? Why is he not here?
I think he's trying to just get out of work.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is work.
Know,
we don't get paid for this.
No.
All right. What's been going on with you guys? It's almost Halloween. It's spooky. It's getting cold outside.
Excited for Halloween. I love Halloween. Halloween is great. It's fantastic. It's amazing.
Is Halloween your favorite holiday?
Yeah, it's my favorite holiday.
It is. What do you guys do that makes it your favorite?
Actually, we end up every year. We end up having just a lot of our close buddies over, and we'll just throw in like an assortment of anything from campy horror movies to like legit horror movies into the television.
Yes.
And we'll cook up a ton of food and play scary board games for the whole weekend.
There you go.
It's freaking awesome.
There you go, man. That's the way to do it. The candy's the best part. It's always the best part.
What do you guys do for Halloween?
I don't do nothing.
Mal's like, I watch YouTube.
Mao's indifference.
I watch YouTube and Twitch on Halloween. Or play whatever games he plays. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm not judging openly.
I don't know. I mean, for me, it depends every year. Sometimes I get together and watch movies with friends and stuff. Sometimes we go out and do other stuff. This year, we're going out and doing a Halloween karaoke thing this weekend. And then tomorrow night when I get off work, me and one of my friends I work with, we're going to marathon like the first half of Stranger Things. So, on actual Halloween, I had plans to do something. I don't know. If it was on Monday, I'd be playing that Starfinder. That was the exact reaction I wanted out of you, Mel.
One day I'm gonna
Good.
Play it.
I'm glad I could.
It's fun, man. It's a good game. It's a good game.
It looks good.
It looks fun.
Yeah. Man, looks
Maybe
like
one day I'll get to try.
I thought about this earlier. Freaking everything is hitting tomorrow. This is Thursday that we're recording this. Thursday for Halloween. Tomorrow, Stranger Things comes out. Mario Odyssey comes out. And I think Assassin's Creed has been getting really good reviews so far. That comes out. Wolfenstein 2 comes out. One guy was like, is this the best day in gaming ever?
Ever? That's strong.
We're saying,
sure.
Everyone wants to live in the moment and be hyperbolic and stuff.
Yeah.
I think this is definitely in the contention for a year. We've had a bunch of games that I can't wait to see, like the game of the year stuff, like what's going to get nominated. Will Nintendo only get one game with Odyssey and Breath of the Wild? Will Persona 5 get nominated at all? Everyone knows for sure that Last Horizon is going to get a nod.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, PUBG came out this year as well.
Oh,
That's true. That's
a really big game.
That thing, it's crushed every record in its category, basically.
It's set a whole new. It's defined like a gaming style.
Practically.
We're gonna have to do in a little the preview show whenever we get close to the game awards, and just be those guys and go. We haven't
50,000.
Yeah, we haven't played any of these games hardly. Let's talk about them like we know them. Let's give our predictions and be talking heads. Hey man, that's what we do.
Yep.
Well, let's go right on into our topics. Mal.
All right. Well, it's a new season for anime.
It is. I haven't watched it yet.
You ever watched any this season?
I'm still watching Welcome to the Ballroom, so that kind of counts. I haven't watched any new ones. I usually wait a few weeks to see if what people say about them.
I see. Well,
You're talking about
There's
Black
one in
Clover, right? Black
yes,
Clover's
Studio
no.
Paradise. Paradise, whatever it is.
No, go on. Sorry.
But the Ancient Magus Bride.
Everybody's been waiting on this one for a while.
I have.
I know you have.
I love it so much.
I think Meta's fiance is big into this too, right?
Oh yeah, she's very big into it.
Maho Tsukai no Yomi.
Yep.
Yeah.
Black Witch of Yomi? I don't know.
Yeah. It's done by Wit Studio, who is a subsidiary of Production IG, founded by producers from Production IG, is a subsidiary of IG Port.
Gotcha.
But the only big thing they've done so far is Attack on Titan, which is pretty good.
I think they animate for some video games too.
They've done Tales of the Rays, the mobile game. I'm on their Wikipedia.
Okay, gotcha.
Wow, that's not a lot under their belt.
Well, I mean, it's done by people from Production IG, which has a lot under their belt.
Well, even if it's done by people from the production, though, I mean, it's not the same teams that we know of.
Yeah.
So
It's
but
IG themselves that do all the stuff. That's the only
their
thing.
their first anime was Attack on Titan, which
Has good animation.
that's fantastic animation.
was received well.
Yes, it's the hot. Well, it's not even
They've
new
done
anymore. It's been out a few years, but
Yeah.
They've done a few others. The only one I really know of is Seraph of the End, which only because I've read the manga, some of it, but I dropped it. I haven't watched any of it. But I just love. So yeah, I loved the manga for a long time for the Ancient Magus Bride. It's so beautifully done.
what's it about?
It's about a girl, Chise, who basically sells herself into slavery because she's done with life.
Choices.
Yeah.
Good life choices there.
And someone, Elias, I don't actually, Elias, buys her for £5 million. And it turns out he's a magus and wants to make her his bride. It's a little odd premise, to be fair or honest.
I like how they do it in a non-creepy manner too. Like they try to make
It's still pretty creepy.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's still creepy at the end of the day, but it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna marry you, and you're gonna marry me, and it's like this doesn't seem awkward at all.
Yeah, she's a 15-year-old girl.
What Japanese premise isn't odd for a manga or anime?
Yeah.
For the most
So-
part.
I can name a couple possibly.
For the most part.
That aside, it is not very Japanesey. It takes place in England, just west of London, present day. But yeah, it doesn't have a lot of the tropes you would normally just associate with anime in general, even.
What's the genre of it?
It's hard to pin down. It's very
It's obviously probably
interesting.
romance.
Yeah, I guess.
Is it like slice of life? Does it have fights
Yeah.
in it?
I can actually back Mao on this one. It really is kind of hard to describe.
Right.
Yeah, I've only read a few chapters of it, so.
Yeah. It is on the slower side of things, which lends itself to more of slicey life stuff. But there's also it's not just a slice of life. Like there are you kind of see more of the downtime in between big
So is
stuff,
it like,
I guess.
It
It is a shonen, which I don't really consider a genre. It's printed in a shonen magazine, but it's kind of almost like if it's a shoujo done in a shonen.
It's really weird. I'm not sure who it's shooting for.
I think. Well, the author said she's kind of trying to hit a balance. I think.
I don't see it. I don't know. It's very hard for me to really pick up on what it is. Plus, it wasn't super interesting to me personally. But I read enough.
You read how much?
Through
or just watched?
No, I've read through the first book, and then I actually went and saw the movies as well. But they're not the movie, but like the first 3 pilot.
Yeah,
episodes
they showed the first 3
in the theater.
episodes in the theater.
Yeah, I saw those as well. Read through the first. I can't talk. First book, and then I'm jumping into the second one. So it's not a lot. I don't want to give that impression away, but so far. I
don't think it's for everyone.
Well, what is?
Right, but I certainly love it. The art is, I think it's just beautiful, and I think it's just an amazing work of art on its own.
It is very clean, very to give a, I guess, a better term, crisp, clean. I actually like that a lot of times the panels tend to show even though it's like a lot of extra details in the background, like you can generally get an idea of the layout of the house just from the few pictures that you get, which is kind of nice.
I think it's an amazing work of art as a whole. It's very character driven developments. It loves its moral gray areas.
So, where does the conflict in the story come from exactly?
So
it doesn't sound like a shonen battle manga. Obviously, you said it's kind of like
not
a
battle manga.
Was there the love triangles like it's common in shoujo?
No.
Is it?
Again, it's kind of devoid of normal tropes you'd find in this sort of thing. It's very rooted in fantasy. With there's a lot of fae, which I love because I love all that.
You would like changeling, Mel.
But lots. Yeah, she's what's called a the official translation I think is slay beggy or something like that.
Yeah, slay beggy, slay bogey.
Yeah. The fan translation and the German translation use slay Vega. Or Vega.
But I think that makes her like a really rarity because
she's
like
very rare, and fairies are drawn to her. She can see the supernatural, and so you find out in the universe there are 2 types of magic. There's wizardry, and then the other kind. Remember, I don't remember how they differentiate by name. Yeah. But basically, I do know wizardry is like formulaic. It's kind of like Fate, the Fate universe, where you have the 2 kinds. But this is very formulaic, or wizardry is formulaic, where you have, it's kind of taking a scientific approach to magic, and then the other is where you can draw upon supernatural creatures to fuel your power and skip the necessary for.
Skip the learning part.
Yeah, I guess. And she has access to both due to her. You find out. Yes.
Yeah.
But
she's
how long has the manga been going?
The manga has been going since 2013. I believe it's monthly.
I think
November
that's when I started reading it. Actually, it was around the time it came out.
Yeah, monthly. And the anime is 3 episodes have come out, or 4 by the time this goes up on Monday. And the dub will release, I believe, on Monday as well when this airs.
Oh, cool! They're doing the simulcast. Who's doing the dub? Is it Funimation?
I think I read it was Funimation. I didn't actually look into it.
Okay. It makes sense. They usually do like the big shows every year, and I know a lot of Funimation.
Yeah.
They usually like to do the big thing every season now.
Yeah. I think it's been doing pretty well. I know the manga has been pretty well received. I think its first volume sold 250,000 or something.
Oh, trying to find out what 8.6 on Mal.
What?
Rank number 66.
Yeah.
And 457th by popularity. 17,794 users. So yeah, that's a really good score for Mal. People are liking it. So
it's definitely one of my favorites in a while. I've seen people describe it as beautiful but sad. Kind of sad.
Well, if it's taken a little bit from shoujo, then you won't stop that, right?
Yeah, I think a very common theme in it is don't trust appearances. It draws a lot on Fae, the nature of Fae and whatnot. Beautiful creatures, but not human. So they don't quite get what's normal for humans, and humans can't deal with what's normal for the fairies.
Yeah, so it's lots of clash between like two worlds and
everything.
Is that where some of the conflict comes from?
Yeah, fairies kind of cause conflict. There are other supernatural elements to it.
So it's almost like dealing with like weird supernatural stuff, kind of somewhat too.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some things I've heard people liken it to, and I'm not really sure. I think Mushishi or whatever it was.
Oh, okay. What was the one that was on? I think I've asked this question on the podcast before, and we all went, "Oh yeah," the one that was on Adult Swim.
I don't know.
Where it was ancient feudal Japan. It was very supernatural.
Wait. Ancient feudal Japan, supernatural.
Yeah, supernatural stuff.
Swim. I don't think it's Moribito. Moribito
that's
more
like
Chinese.
I think it's really ancient Japan.
Really? Ancient Japan? Dude,
is Moribito, I mean.
Moribito is like old.
Yeah, like pre-feudal.
Yeah, but is it supernatural? Guardian of the Spirit? I guess it is.
Moribito, it has supernatural element to it, but it's not the majority of the story. I mean, it's a big premise of the story, but it's not what like that. The supernatural parts don't really show up until the end. So
okay. I've never seen it.
It's a fantastic series, but that's for a different day.
But I'm been derailed.
I'm sorry, I do that to people.
Damn it, Obs.
I have that effect.
You're supposed to be the overseer.
Get back on track, Mal.
Kind of like, or some people have said it feels kind of like Spice and Wolf.
Oh, okay.
Somehow. But that I think is like more romance.
Yeah, it is.
Spice and Wolf has got definitely more romance to it, but I could see the similarities.
Yeah. Oh, I think the music for the opening and ending are beautiful. Also, just everything about it can be. Yeah, I would agree. Quite pretty.
Did they use the same ones from the theater showing?
Probably.
Oh, did you not see it?
I didn't see it in theaters. No, I would have if I'd known about it. There's also 3 OVAs, or I don't know, an OVA, 3 parts. I don't know. It's like a side story around chapter 19. People are divided on whether or not you should watch it yet or not. Some people think it gives you more, because there's like a character and a half of spoilers for it. Like it spoils a character and a character in the OP that hasn't been in the actual anime yet. But some people said it makes them feel more close to Chisei and kind of gives you more to root for because she's had a traumatic past. Basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. You find out, like, I think in the opening moments, like she was either gonna just kill herself, or then someone was like, you could sell yourself to, be a benefit to someone else too. She's like, okay, basically.
Yeah, that. I do remember that. Yeah, she was about to I think she was about to jump off a bridge or something, and then some guy was like, you could do that, or
you make a good point, sir.
I think a lot of I wonder how many people dropped it after episode 1 because of that. Like it's like some people are like, it feels a little rapey, I guess. Like I don't know. I get you. I mean, spoilers, I guess, for the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
But Elias. So you see, when he's introduced, he's got a skull for a head. And then in episode 2, I mean, some people were surprised to find out that was his real head. He's not human, and he does not understand human stuff.
No.
So, he
kind of gets around that.
What a bride is.
It falls right under the Japanese misunderstanding trope. It's just one giant misunderstanding.
It's not really a misunderstanding in like that. It's just that he wants to better understand humans. I don't know. It's not like it's a
understanding. He probably doesn't fully understand what marriage means, anyways.
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. He doesn't fully understand what marriage in full implies.
Yeah. But
Ob's got me.
I got you.
Take it, man.
I've enjoyed it enough to make me watch it while it doesn't even have a dub.
That says something, actually. That's true.
That says a lot for Mal.
That says a lot for Mal.
I haven't even looked at a whole lot of what's showing in fall. Dude, is Shokugeki no Soma back on?
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. You did not even watch
Fuck!
season 3?
Dude,
Food Wars.
Black Clover started too. I was joking. I thought it was starting next season.
No,
dude, I got some stuff.
We're in it now.
I got some stuff to watch.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I thought Shokugeki no Soma was next year too.
No.
Wow.
They're almost through with that. The newest season, I think.
Oh, Sangatsu no Line got a second season. I watched a lot of that, the first season.
Noise.
Man. Okay. Oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna get lost in the anime chart that I didn't look at. I look at them all the time. I didn't look at falls. Because I thought ahead of time there wasn't going to be anything I wanted to watch other than Welcome to the Ballroom. And I just thought those were later on, and I wasn't paying attention. And
yeah, this is actually going to be 2 core, so we got 24 episodes of it.
Sweet.
I believe they even passed on doing an extra core of Attack on Titan to do the second core for this or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Was at least rumored.
Old people have been wanting this. So
yeah.
Shokugeki no Soma is getting a 2 core as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh, is that Rendo Senpai in that poster? Oh, baby. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna. I got a lot to watch apparently, but I was going to wait and kind of see what you said about this and see what other people said. And
it might be it might be more binge. I think it does better for
probably
binging.
binge-ing. Yeah, I would
because of its slower pacing.
Well, it's hard
for some
to
people definitely it's gonna.
As far as manga goes, it's hard to keep up with monthlies for me anyways, and when
That's
stuff
true.
is slower paced, it's just even more hard. So anime is like a lot, the pacing in anime, because you always cover like 2.5 or 3 chapters in anime. I mean, it's different with the monthly, because monthly chapters are longer, but...
This though, I think, like, the episode 3 only covers like half a chapter, I think.
Yeah, I think
manga.
so. The episode 3, isn't that the... I don't want to spoil it.
It's the part where spoiler does spoiler.
Yeah, we've got spoilers for the whole first 3 episodes, basically.
I know, right.
Dragons, yes.
Yes, okay, it's the dragons. Yeah,
Dragons.
yeah, they go to Iceland, where Dargans are, and yeah, that was like, I think that was like almost a chapter or just half a chapter. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
But I mean, that episode was really well done.
Yeah, by episode 3, you really start to see what is like. What this manga or the anime offers, like episode 3 is been the best so far. It's so beautiful.
It honestly is beautiful. Yeah,
it's like touching. Like
walking out of that theater, I'll definitely say this. I was like, wow, yeah, whoo, that animation and that color, wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I've seen people commenting. It's like they got me to cry in 15 minutes. Like,
yeah,
just the third episode alone.
Because of the episode. Oh yeah, no, I don't want to talk anything more about it. That episode was like, oh man.
Yeah, it's good.
You know what made me cry this weekend? I spent $10 on Geostorm.
Oh my god.
I wanted to see it unironically just because I knew it was going to be schlock, but. That's another.
Sorry.
I was close to talking about it, but that was close to being my topic. But I was like, no, I'm not going to talk about Geostorm for 15 minutes.
That guy.
You can't say that.
That's the one where they're controlling the weather, right?
Yes, there's a laser.
That's all I know about
weather satellite laser that burns Moscow.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, all right, Meta. What's up with you? What you been doing? What you got?
Before we get into my topic, I just want to give first a shout out to our fallen piece of technology. The Kinect was discontinued by Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yes, finally the last nail in the coffin has been put down, and
it is
honestly I think more of the internet's really cheering than it is.
Yeah.
The Kinect was pretty bad.
I said it at the start of when the Kinect and all this VR stuff was coming out, and I say it again, we're just not there. I know
definitely for the Kinect.
Definitely for the Kinect.
VR's, doing better. Like, it's not gonna die off. Like,
I don't think it's fully gonna die off, but we're not there for what we really want.
Yeah.
I mean, if you play a VR headset and the game is just not gonna. Like, you get the cool movement of your head and you get to look around. It's great and awesome.
Yeah.
But like, even example, if you played Resident Evil 7 and you played it on VR, until you were in the game itself, the way the cinematics played was your character would actually look at it. You would actually see the cinematic being played as if you were in almost a movie theater setting.
Yeah.
And that's really weird. The resolution was heavily dropped down.
Honestly, we haven't had any like full AAA VR games yet. Like, I mean, we've had the ports, but not like
RE7 is like the closest.
Yeah, RE7.
Well, I mean, like
it's
a
not
game
even
for the VR.
Yeah.
We've just had like experiences basically for them.
Which kind of sucks, but like that, I mean, that's a telling problem of some other things. But it kind of died off, and as I stated, like I don't think we're just there yet. I just don't think we're ready for. Well, not
we
that
haven't had
everybody's fucking ready for it.
We haven't had a big title for it this year.
Right.
Even when we don't have a big title for it, it's so hard. I remember when I was talking with at the time, at least, I haven't talked with them forever, but I was talking with a game developer, and he was now teaching classes at a school because he got out of game development to go instead teach it. But he stated that one of the bigger problems that was talked about in the industry is that it's just really hard to like program for those kind of things, for detection of like where actual joints are and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Because even though it says it quotes unquote, detects in a real 3D space, if you put your arm straight out to it, it actually has a very hard time detecting your shoulder joint and your elbow joint inside of your body, because you have other things that are in the way. It just sees a point, and that's a problem for them. So, but that was an issue for the Kinect and anything that works akin to it, at least for one. If you had somebody who like jury rigged up,
you know what Kinect was good for? Just Dance. That's about it.
Yeah, it was great. Just Dance.
I never played a single Kinect game.
Just Dance was alright.
I played some Kinect games. I'm gonna tell you right now, you could generally cheese it to make it far less a pain in the butt to play.
Yeah. What about that Star Wars Kinect meta? Do you like dancing Han Solo?
Nah.
Dancing Vader?
I'm Han Solo. I'm Han Solo.
Dancing Emperor. That stuff was embarrassing.
That was amazing, Ops. I don't know what you're talking about.
I like schlock and I'm embarrassed.
So definitely want to give it a shout out to that and just say you probably won't be missed.
Yeah, taps for you, Kinect. Taps. Yep.
So let's go to the real topic, which is Fire Emblem Warriors. Yay! The game came out last Friday, so it'll just be a week old tomorrow. It was out a month before in Japan, so they had it out before us for a long while. We got a chance to play around and everything and find out what it was. Regardless of what anybody says, the first thing I want to just throw out here right now is that Fire Emblems has actually done decently well. Decently. Mm. The game has just sold combined between Switch and 3DS, and this is the only site that I can get any information on as of October 8th, stated that it debuted in Japan in 1 week, and in the first week, it sold a little over, I want to say 60,000 copies altogether between the 3DS and the Switch version.
Yeah, I think I saw it was around 40,000 on the Switch.
Yeah, 40,000 on the Switch, 20,000 on the 3DS.
Is that worldwide?
No, that was just Japan. That was about 50% of its initial shipment, which, if you want to compare it to the best thing, Hyrule Warriors, which sold on the Wii U, sold just a bit under 70,000 units with a 57% sell-through on the first week. And then Hyrule Warriors Legends sold about 56,000 copies with a 60% sell-through. So it's not bad. It's done financially. It's done exactly what it needed to. It hit a fairly decent mark. I wouldn't say it's great, but I don't know if anything can ever be truly great, except unless you're Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, where you sell more games on the actual consoles. So,
what? It has more than 100%? What's that rate they call it?
I think it was 102% was what was reported. It sold 102%. Yep. So, Unfortunately, we won't have an actual VGC up for it yet until potentially the weekend to see how well it's done in here. However, there are reports stating that at least in the UK or the EU, I shouldn't say the UK because they're not the only EU people. In the EU, that they hit around the 16. Anymore. It hit around the 16 in the top 20 charts, so that's not bad. It's definitely not bad for what was for a lot of the complaints that led up for this game, which we'll get into here in a moment.
Oh yeah, can't pass Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yep, can't pass Mario Kart 8.
Dude, no one's passing Mario Kart 8.
Not when they have the blue shell on their side.
Only Zelda or Odyssey will probably pass that. I think the Mario Kart for the DS is like one of the high-selling games of all time or something like that. Ridiculous.
This is just for weekly sales, not total.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. So that is the financial sellout in this guy. Which,
you guys streamed it on Saturday?
Yes. No, we streamed it on. It was Saturday.
It was Saturday.
We did stream it on Saturday.
I was watching it.
You were for a while,
you were there. And then we actually finished up the rest of it on Sunday, around early afternoon to mid-afternoon, a little bit.
Oh, you actually finished the story?
Yeah, we finished the story.
Okay. How many chapters are in the story meta?
There is 21 chapters altogether.
Okay, but then you get the stuff after that too, though, right? The history stuff.
Yeah, you get the history stuff, which is really where a lot of the meat and potatoes comes in for the hard difficulty challenges.
And it's where you can get your Lyn.
Yes, it is where I got my Lyn. I've already unlocked her. I've already gotten her up to level 60, and I'm attempting to unlock her final weapon so that I can utilize that and then run around and be an idiot. So the game, just getting out of the base things, the game is, in my opinion, it's not bad. I choose those words very specifically.
I would probably agree with that.
I'm having more fun with it than I thought I would. I've only played a little bit of it. I played 6 or 7 hours of the game.
It's very hard for me to want to say that this game is fantastic for what a Warriors game is, and I'll be honest, that's really what I'm going to compare it to is other Warriors games out there on the market.
Makes sense.
Because honestly, Hyrule Warriors really set the bar for me of what a Warriors game should be in the fun department. Going into this game was kind of it felt like a step back in some ways, which kind of sucked. And we'll get. I really want to talk about it because there's a lot of things in this game that do really undercut what could have been a really awesome game. There's a lot of things about it that I would nitpick, just really take that away from saying it's really fun like Hyrule Warriors. The first thing off the bat, just to talk about, because this is what everybody's been talking about since even before it came out, the amount of units and the types of weapons that they utilize and the copying of movesets. It's the last one to me is absolutely unacceptable for this kind of game, especially with its roster size. It does not have a big roster.
Yeah,
it's not acceptable.
The amount of copying for the roster size left me sorely disappointed.
Yeah, there is a number of characters that are copied. Chrom and Lucina have the same moveset. Celica and Marth have the same moveset. I think that's her name, right?
Celica?
Yeah, which is weird.
She was really late at add-on.
She has an excuse. At the very least, she has an excuse for that.
I guess.
But honestly, I would say that don't add her in the first place.
Right, that's how
DLC.
Yeah, make her DLC or something so you can actually.
They're this Fire Emblem game just came out. We should probably put a character in from it.
Yeah, I think that was a waste of a character. All the Pegasus Knights, which are ironically also the only spear users in the game, all share the same moveset. That is a shameful display.
Oh yeah,
shameful.
No, it's going to be free to play it then. I want to play spear users, but I am not playing a Pegasus user.
That's the other problem is that there is no spear user.
I refuse.
There's not even armored units for your side. That's actually really weird. You get no armored units.
Yeah, because Frederick doesn't even count, does he?
No, Frederick does not count as an armored unit.
He doesn't in the mobile game either.
He
doesn't really count as one.
You know what's going to be what'll be the real rip off is if the DLC characters are also moveset clones.
Yeah.
That would be
that'll be complete no excuse.
That
like
would
rip off.
that would
They're shilling.
I'm just waiting.
If that happens, I will be legit pissed. I will not.
And no
any
new
DLC
characters,
after.
all just costumes for existing characters.
Yeah, I paid $10 for a reskin.
I think there's another set of characters. Oh, the two new main characters for the storyline that's focused around. They are copies of one
Bland character number 1 and Bland character number 2.
I don't even know why they bothered with them. They're
Yeah.
such a waste of time and space.
They should have used the mobile games brother and sister at least.
At the very least, they would have been like, "Oh, well, we know them." So
apparently, they were told to change the mobile. The mobile game creators were told to change their brother and sister because of this game. Which I mean, I think they came up with a better pair anyway.
So
yeah.
I believe Leo and Elisa also share the same moveset.
A brother and their little sister from the Fates games share a moveset on each side. Because Takumi, I think, and whatever.
Takumi and Sakura.
Oh, Takumi and Sakura. Yeah, they share a moveset. So okay, so I don't know. I can't confirm Leo and Elise.
I believe I've read that. Yeah.
But I do know that like Leo is on a horsey, so I don't know if that really changes anything or not. But beyond that, there's a lot of characters that unfortunately do have shared movesets. The other thing I will state is that a lot of the movesets are unfortunately not all that fun. Unlike Hyrule Warriors, like it was really fun to learn, to figure out what new weapon would do what for that character if they had multiple weapons, because generally the movesets had like some very interesting effects about them, and they were generally heavily elemental based. So if you had like a water weapon on it, generally your charge attacks would have like water based effects around it. It was very nice and flashy. That's not the case with this game. It really kind of feels more like a Dynasty Warriors or a Samurai Warriors type game, where it's a little bit less on the flashy side and more of like that they just happen to have this type of thing tied with this charge attack for their characters and whatnot. So, the other thing I want to state, like right off the bat, is there's a lot to actually state off, but the big other thing that was really really bothersome for me, there's not a lot of color in this game. A lot of the characters have tons of different palettes and colors to them. Right. But the maps are often very bland and boring.
That's sad.
There's only a couple maps that I can recall in my mind that really stand out in color. There's a lot of reused maps. There's just not a lot of maps in general, in fact.
Yeah.
Which is not okay. Again, that's not really acceptable. A lot of the maps generally are indoors or enclosed as opposed to outdoors. And that's because, again, they're often repeated, which sucks. I think the other thing I wanted to state about it is there are some unfortunate glitches with camera angles and whatnot. When you use your special moves, it feels really satisfying. But like, if you're too close to a doorway, if you're too close to a wall, which apparently means if you're standing in the center of the room, you're still too bloody close to a wall or a door, your camera will glitch out and it won't properly perform the visual as it's supposed to. And you'll do the damage, everything else is fine mechanically, but it won't look as impressive, or your camera will just kind of go into a neutral position and it won't follow through with things. It's really annoying, especially with characters who have very big looking specials. Like Lynn, for instance, this is a very big problem for her. I generally will often 50-50. It's either going to be I will actually get to see the visual or I won't, and I feel like it does lean a little bit more towards I'm not going to see it just because I was too close to that corner of the room. So
yeah.
The other issue I'm going to state here is that the story mode and the free mode are kind of one and the same. Once you beat a map, it becomes a free mode. But if you want to play that map, you can play it freely now. You can do it however you want, but you still have to see like the opening like storyline, which still loads through, which you end up pressing A to skip through a lot because you'll skip through it faster than you'll load up the stage to actually skip through and just go to the preparation of the stage. A lot of the menus tend to be condensed in really weird ways. Like, for instance, there's two menus, Camp and Convoy. And Convoy kind of lets you look at your characters, change the equipment on them, give them items, look at how their relationship statuses with other characters are. And then Camp is where you would go to buy items, increase like their move sets, go reforge weapons, get blessings, or even just train up a character, pay money just to level them up automatically. These really didn't need to be split. I don't know why they were, but it's a pain in the butt. And
I think it's a holdover from actual Fire Emblem games.
I guess so. I don't know, but in this game, at least, it's an unnecessary menu split. It's kind of a pain in the butt that has to happen.
Yeah, it could have been condensed. I'll agree with you there.
Beyond that, that's kind of where my nitpicking really does stop. The game, I know it's like a lot. It's a lot of nitpicking, I know, but these are, when it comes to it, the devil's in the details, and the details here are unfortunately lacking.
Right. What is left to enjoy?
Believe it or not, the gameplay is still very fun, though. I enjoy it. It is still fun to play through. It is got a fair amount of challenges for you. The difficulty certainly take it up steps that are keep it fun. You don't ever feel really. It's ironically enough, this is probably one of the best difficulty-wise. Enemies don't absurdly murder you on harder difficulties, but they certainly do take longer to kill. It feels like a fair difficulty ramp up. There are definitely some stages that require true thought process, especially in the history battles. There are definitely some stages that require some time and thinking about how you're going to approach this fight and where you're going to go to do things. We actually ended up, Lily and I ended up playing at the same level a couple times because we needed to, in order to get an S rank on it to complete it, we had to specifically game how certain things were done. We had to specifically rush after certain units. We end up having to deploy ourselves in different ways to attempt to gain the objectives and under the time limit to beat it. It actually required something. It was very nice. It was a very nice change of pace that just required a couple playthroughs to really think about how we're going to go about it.
I just remember when you guys were streaming, you were like, this game seems kind of easy. And then, or you're just in a mission, and then all of a sudden, Ob's trash can gets killed, and it's game over.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
My waifu, my poor waifu.
I will state the storyline. The storyline stuff is pretty easy. Even maybe it's because I'm experienced with the Warriors games and Lily's not half bad herself on them, or if it's just because the game truly is easy. I don't know, but I will say that like playing the game through normal mode, it really did feel like a walk in the park. Once you get to the later stages, the only difference is that they feel like they become, as everybody was saying in the stream, they become bulky, but they didn't become harder. So
yeah, they just added hit points.
Yeah, but they didn't really up their damage. They didn't really make them more
whatever
aggressive.
The equivalent of a bullet sponge is in a game without bullets.
A sword sponge.
Right.
They didn't really change in the difficulty. Even the final boss. The final boss was, admittedly enough, it felt satisfying to be able to dodge through his attacks. I love that thing that they brought back was the dodge roll, because you can
it's pretty good.
You can delay cancel out of a lot of moves and then allow you to quickly get into a starting combo again, as opposed to waiting for the ending frames to play through before you can start up again. It is cool. You get this fun to play as your characters. The movesets are generally entertaining, if a bit lacking as compared to Hyrule Warriors. But I mean, Hyrule Warriors was really, in my eyes, like one of the most perfect Warriors games I've played. So this game coming up on is unfortunately got just a lot of things that kind of bite on it. It does utilize the weapon triangle system.
Yeah,
I think it does it in a fair manner. You are at a disadvantage if you have the wrong type of weapon. You are at a disadvantage. Enemies generally block more. They will flip out of your combos, so that reduces the damage on them. But you can still kill them. They're not technically any harder to kill, but they generally are smarter against you and will make you work for the kill against them. And the enemies that you are strong against just become idiots and really easy to kill very quickly. So the weapon triangle system is there. I will say though, like I don't. Some of the characters don't really feel really weird for the weapon triangle system. Like archers are essentially soft countered against everything but casters, and casters are really only good against monsters. But they're not a full counter like the weapon triangles for sword, spear, and axe.
So they didn't have the magic triangle, and then
so casters kind of get like
Because they just didn't have the roster to have elemental magic, light magic, and dark magic.
Yeah.
And then archers are never been part of any triangle, I believe.
But even so, if they're not a part of a triangle, they certainly made them a part of something in this game. Again, they're only really good against they're better. They're just not super. Again, because in the game
they kill flyers is what their thing is.
That's really is the flyers and mages they're good against. Innately, I think all the bows have innate wing slayer on them. You just can't get rid of that.
That's a Fire Emblem thing. Basically.
Yeah. For them, it just means you essentially do always critical damage against an opponent if you've got whatever Slayer on that is. It's just kind of weird because they're technically soft countered by everything, except for those two things, and then casters are just strong against monsters, and other things are generally a soft counter to them as well. So it kind of puts them in a really weird state of things. I don't know why they bothered to put them in the triangle system at all. Yeah, I don't know. Have you guys? I don't know if you guys have either of you had a chance to play the game at all.
Oh yeah, I set up 7 hours in. Yeah, I'm more positive on it than I thought I was going to be. I'm not a super huge fan of the Warrior games and stuff, and obviously I love the Fire Emblem games, so that's going to be the main draw for me. And I think the game, you were talking about the weapons triangle, that almost feels like the least kind of well implemented piece from Fire Emblem, in my opinion. I love the mini map that you go on. You can direct your characters, and it looks like a Fire Emblem map.
That was pretty nice, yeah.
I like the little sprite things. The little sprite art of the characters are still on there too and stuff. Just like you're playing one of the 3DS Fire Emblem games. All the it is a fan servicey game and it has all the cameos and stuff. I've only got the Awakening characters so far, but you get nice little nods to their story that kind of remind you of the game. It's got a decent amount of voice acting, and the voice acting has been pretty good so far. So
Laura Bailey, though.
It's been lots of Laura Bailey. I'm just waiting.
She's not Lucinia in this.
Oh, she's not?
No, she's not.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Yep, she's gone.
Was she too busy doing Mordor?
Probably.
Matt Mercer keeps his role as Crom.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best characters.
I'm waiting for Yuri Lowenthal. My boy.
My
boy.
Crom.
She does love her Matt Mercer.
I was actually pretty high on the idea originally. As someone who loves Fire Emblem, like Ubs, and I'm not into hack and slashes usually, but just the more I saw how they were implementing the game, I'm probably just not going to get it.
Yeah.
I can very much understand that.
It's sad because it's not going to. I don't think it's going to get a sequel, and this Fire Emblem just screams the perfect fit for a musou game, and
that's exactly what I said to Lily. I sat there and I was like, Fire Emblem is probably one of the most perfect game series you could pull for this. I mean, there's an assload of characters to put in this game. Yeah. There are plenty of different weapon types.
There's so many characters.
It just seems they were lazy.
And they were 3 games. It's we'll just use 3 games characters.
I don't know why they didn't just hit this thing right in the park. They should have just taken the characters that everybody loved, jammed them into a game together, and then said, that's the game.
How do you not
know why they didn't do that.
I've never played the game, or the console ones, but how do you not have Ike and Roy? And then also, how do you not have Roy? And
I would have had them do 2 characters from each game, probably. Hector and Lynn would have been a good one.
Yeah, at least as a base. These are the 2 characters that we need.
Give me my Erica.
Crom and Robin.
Yeah, Ephraim.
Maybe it'll get better with DLC, but
I doubt it.
Each DLC is supposed to bring 3 new characters to
3? You say 3?
3 new characters for each DLC that's coming out.
That's not enough.
Yeah,
well, that's going to be 9 for the first 3 DLC. If it goes to a season 2, that would be 18 altogether.
And how much does that cost?
I don't know, actually. I have not looked it up.
Am I going to have to spend half the price of the game?
Exactly.
I don't know.
That's It could get better with DLC, but I mean the base game needs to be good. There needs to be a lot of variety in the base game.
That's really what the problem comes down to. Is
Yeah.
like again, just honestly, the biggest sin in this game is that there is
Yeah.
in and of itself, there is a lot of moveset copies, and I think that's the biggest sin in this whole game.
It's still fun. There's still fun to be had. I'm getting enjoyment out of it. I haven't played it quite as much as Meta has, because for one, I know it's not a long game. Two, it's on my Switch, so I can like take it to work and play it on lunch and stuff, which I have been doing. And three, I've been playing an old JRPG too, so that's been dominating a lot of my time. Then Mario's going to dominate.
Which
my time
one?
Next, Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2.
Oh, right.
But anyways, it's still fun. There's still fun game to be had there. Like I was like, it could just get really boring fast. It was just kind of my experience with musou games and the problem in the past.
Yeah, that's my problem with hack and slashes in general.
But this one, I don't have that like kind of like weird weariness of playing it. Like I could play it, I just would rather play the other game I'm playing right now.
I think it would have very much helped personally is that they went to a more colorful palette. I know Fire Emblem can be very colorful. I've seen it.
I mean, they had to use the actual palette of the characters, so those are so you see those are colorful.
Yeah, those are very colorful.
They just didn't stay with the rest of the game.
There's tons of colors. There is from dark hues to light hues.
Even the map looks like
blue,
shit. The overworld
green.
map.
Yeah, it's just honestly I don't understand why they made some of the design choices they made, especially considering that Hyrule Warriors is by far and large one of the best Warrior games that has ever come out.
Yeah, I'd say it's worth it if you're a Fire Emblem fan. I can't really speak as a musou fan.
You probably, you gotta like hack and slashes to a degree, probably.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably worth waiting for a price drop.
I would definitely say this is probably a game you want to wait for a price drop on, unless you really want to play it.
I'd be really happy if I spent $40 on it. I feel fine at $60, but I'm like right there. So
truly, what this game is just unfortunately lacking is a lot of polish and cleanup, and
it's just a bit lazy.
Details. Yeah,
a bit lazy.
I'm looking at I'm cross-referencing Hyrule Warriors and Emblem Warriors, and it looks like only one of the high-level people from Hyrule is a producer on Fire Emblem, like the director, the designer, the artist, composers.
The whole team that should have been on Hyrule Warriors should have done
right.
Like that's really what it comes down to.
Hey,
if it had been the same team, I am telling you, I would be raving about this game for a Warriors game because it would have been phenomenal. I just don't understand how it's unfortunately it's just it's like I don't understand how you can really mess this up. It's by far, it's got an amazing roster of characters. It's got plenty of weapons. It's got good ideas. It's got strategy involved for all your strategy lovers. You can play the musou style for it if you just want to go hack and slashing. There is so much to pull from those games. And it's unfortunately just not lived up to what it could have been.
Yeah, seems like they're just a bit lazy.
Yep. Hey, man, we'll get our Fire Emblem Switch game next year. This is what I believe is their projected 2018 date for an actual Fire Emblem console game again. Our first one since the Wii.
If the game receives enough love, we might see a Fire Emblem. We might see Fire Emblem Warriors Legends, and maybe they might fix up some stuff in there. But I just don't know.
Yeah, if they ever do like a repackage of all the DLC for a cheaper price, I might go in and get it.
I think I'm kind of hoping that what they do, and this is like again the perfect usage of like patches and whatnot, is that they patch this game and even go back and change movesets for characters and fix up a lot of the bugs and glitches in it. I don't know what they're gonna do, but all it kind of makes you want to do is play Hyrule Warriors again.
Dust off the old Wii U, right?
Hey man, that was a good game.
Yeah, I never got to play it, but nah. All right, let's get on to my topic. As you know, if you're listening to this, it's the week before Halloween. We were talking about some of our Halloween traditions earlier in the episode.
I mean,
if you want,
this will come out the day before Halloween.
Exactly, but we're recording it the week before Halloween, so thank you, Mal.
You're welcome.
It's been a long day, people. So, Meta was saying earlier, him and some of his friends like to get together and watch bunch of horror movies and stuff like that. So I figured we do a just discussion. Are some of your guys' favorite horror movies? Is there like one you have to watch every Halloween? Which one has scared you the most? If you've even been scared by one, what do you look for in them? What do you think about them? Just in general. Maybe you might not like horror movies, so I'll let you guys go. Then I'll give you some of mine.
I gotta say right now, I'm generally not a big fan of horror movies, which is ironic considering that I love Halloween in of itself and scary, spooky.
Well, they can include cheesy horror movies too.
Well, it's more like it's just more like, I mean, if you play cheesy ones, even then I'd be like, eh. I generally like any horror movie that takes either a comedy route to it, or puts a twist in it, like Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods is like one of the few exceptions to things that I really like.
Oh my god,
pretty comedic.
Yeah,
it's very comedic.
Kind of, and then Shaun of the Dead, you would know that one.
That's a classic.
I know that one. I like that one too. But again, it's because they all take a very comedic in a way, but huge twists on them. It's hard for me to even say Cabin in the Woods is comedy, except for the few moments where comedy does come into play. And
I'd consider it comedy.
It's satire, basically.
Yeah, it's more satire, and I think that's really what I like about it, is when they satire scary like horror movies and whatnot. That's what I really like.
The best part of Cabin in the Woods is, for me, is the opening, where it's just you don't like, if you didn't know much about the movie, it's just like two guys in a factory at their day job just talking like, yeah, well,
right,
we're gonna get off and do this, you in or whatever, and then just the screen goes boom, Cabin in the Woods, as they're driving on their little gator in their factory or whatever. I died laughing at that part. I was like, that is so perfect.
There's a lot of good stuff. But if I had to choose a favorite scary movie,
Troll 2.
Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Oh man, that's that's horrifying. We're not talking about that. You're gonna give me nightmares just thinking about it. Truth be told, I've never sat down through that whole movie.
I watched that as a kid. That was a horrible movie.
Man,
that was horrific for its own reasons. Honestly, I don't think I have a favorite one. But if I had to choose ones that I liked, then definitely Shaun of the Dead or Cabin in the Woods.
Okay, I'll give you that. It counts. Even the satirical ones that poke fun.
The judges approve it. The judges approve it.
All right, what about you, Mel?
I was actually going to use those as part of it. 'Cause I don't do horror. I don't connect with horror.
Okay, well, let's go from this angle. What is it about horror that you guys kind of like puts it down on your totem pole as a lesser genre of movie?
Well, it's not even that. I just don't get it. There's a disconnect in my brain. I just don't feel like scared or anything or any of that.
Mal has, you can't turn off your suspension of disbelief, basically.
I don't know. I just don't connect with scary stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
I think it's because Mao can't be scared. He's actually immune.
To
fear effects.
Immune to fear.
I mean, I'm afraid of plenty of things in real life.
Does it exude from out?
Usually social interaction.
Yeah. Does it exude out from you in a 30-foot radius?
Mao's fearful of getting up in the morning and success. I don't think it's a lesser genre. The problem is that generally a lot of horror movies, at least as far as I've seen, require that the heroes or the heroines be idiots. And that's my problem, is that like it's never a person going like, oh no, this person's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre person. Whatever will we do? I could probably get the sharp weapon or a gun to shoot them, but by God, that would be stupid. And even if they do that, they generally don't follow with a double tap or, my God, take the weapon from them and then just like for realsies finish them off by lopping the head off. I mean, there's just so many things that you could do. And sometimes, and I'm not saying this is always the case, there are exceptions, but that's generally my biggest problem, is that it generally requires that you...
It's the whole premise, I guess.
Yeah, the premise really requires that some people make dumb decisions in order for it to be more scary.
Okay. Yeah, I can... Hey, that's a lot of people's complaint. I mean, especially with slasher flicks and stuff like that. Slasher is not generally like my... I don't, it's not my big... Like, I like the classic slasher films just because they're classics. Like, the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
First Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
That's generally what it is. But I do enjoy them for what they are. Like I love actually reading up. I'll generally this is what I do because I won't take the time to see it. I actually get legit angry when I watch movies. Lily can tell you all about that because when I watched Cabin in the Woods for the first half, she was like saying, "No, this is a really good movie. You need to see this. You like this movie." And I'm watching this first half of the movie, and I'm just like, "Look, this is fucking stupid." I'm like, I don't understand why he's doing this. This is an idiotic thing. Why would he do this? Why would he not convince him? What the fuck?
And then you learn that's the point.
And then that was that. As I learned that's the point of it all, and I was like, my mind was blown. I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." But like the first half, I legit was getting angry. Lily was like, "Do you want to like pause it for a moment, take a breather,
Get outside, get some fresh air."
But I love going and at least reading up like the synopsises of them, or reading up like the actual when they write up the whole premise of the plot.
I have a friend who like actually can't deal with scary movies. I guess he's the opposite of me. He gets too scared. But he does enjoy going on Wikipedia and reading the summaries of them.
That's what I do. I actually enjoy loving reading them because I can't see them being stupid. I just know that like eventually it's like, oh, and then John gets killed by this fire car or whatever. I'm like, okay, John's dead. I'm like, okay, he gets murdered by a fire car. Sweet.
Yeah.
So like I'll do that. That's generally I can at least I can do that and I get to like read it up. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty neat. And then if I really care, what I'll actually end up doing is I'll just go look up like all the cool scenes, like usually the characters getting killed or something.
Yeah.
Right at the moment of death when it gets really interactive. Like one of the most interesting ones I think I remember looking up was the not what was it? Final Destination. Some of the kills in that were very
ridiculous,
over the top, which I love. And then just all over the place creative. I was like, my God. I didn't know that guy could be tossed 70 feet into the air, then hit by an eagle, which carried him over to this nest that dropped him in, which he's impaled on the top.
It's a Rube Goldberg machine of death.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It turns into a Rube Goldberg machine of death. That's absolutely perfect way to put it. I love that.
I thought some of you guys might. I'm just being a memer here, but I was like, someone's going to say The Happening, where Mark Wahlberg tries to talk a plant into not killing him and his friends.
Roll diplomacy to talk the plant down.
Oh my god! But not to get on What a Twist, guys thing or whatever. M. Night Shyamalan.
I mean, people really like his earlier movies. And what's the new one supposed to be really good?
The new one's supposed to be good, actually. But
is it the one with the grandparents and the kids?
Split. Yes, that's it.
I don't know what that is.
That's just the name of it. I don't know anything about it.
Oh yeah, he's got the.
What is his name? The guy was he young Xavier? Is that James
McAvoy
or something?
McElroy.
Did that movie do good?
Yeah, it's supposed to be really good.
Like it. But
that's not. Oh, I guess it is.
Maybe I don't know.
It's suspenseful. I think. I don't know. Like, what are you defining as horror? I guess too.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I mean, it's such a broad term now because. You have the classic horror movies like Hitchcock and stuff like that.
Right.
You have the slasher era. You have you're kind of like thriller where it's, I mean, there's not necessarily like a monster or people getting killed or anything. It's just very suspenseful. Some people might
your gore-fest.
Your gore-fest like Saw and Hostel and...
I think like in that regard, it's still within the horror genre. It's just that how it goes about it is very different.
His are almost more sci-fi.
It's definitely horror. I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it is about inducing fear through some shape or form.
Even Alien,
suspense, tension. Yeah.
You guys like Alien?
Oh, actually, I do.
The first Alien. That's a horror movie, technically.
The only one I've seen is Alien vs. Predators.
Oh man, no. Predator's a horror movie too, technically. The first one. The second one's just a full-on comedy because Danny Glover.
The second one's awesome. What are you talking about?
I love the second one too, but it's not a horror movie.
The same way, when he hands him the gun, gosh damn.
In the same way, Nightmare on Elm Street 3: Dream Warriors is not a horror movie.
I did go down like a list of like, someone's 100 best horror movies and see if I liked any movies, and Zombieland was on it, so I love that movie.
Zombieland's great.
I like that one
count
too.
That. That might be my favorite. I also really like Evil Dead.
Evil Dead is so good.
Evil Dead.
Not so much the first one, but the second one.
Evil Dead 2 is one of my friend's favorite movies.
Yeah.
Army of Darkness is great as well.
It's amazing. That's not even a horror.
That's like a comedy fantasy movie, basically.
Right. That movie's amazing.
Also, I do like what's his name, Guillermo del Toro stuff. Like Pan's Labyrinth is pretty cool. But that's more just because he has a unique vision of things. Yeah, it doesn't really come across in other stuff.
You're gonna get Norman Reedus, baby. So yeah, I like some of the old stuff and even like the classic slasher fix, like I was saying before. But I have like a big problem with modern horror, and I think a lot of people do because it's just so reliant on jump scares, and I don't want to pay money to go get startled for an hour and a half and feel like I have to plug up my ears for the entire movie because the theater is freaking loud as crap. No, the best horror movie, it's probably my favorite horror movie, and it's recent, and it came out not long ago, is The Witch. It's freaking great.
Think I've ever heard of it.
I don't think I've heard of it.
It has 0 jump scares. The Witch is basically a colonial era American family get they kind of leave their town. I can't remember if they get banished or they just decide to leave. I think they just decide to leave. And he's like, all right, we're going to have to go like survive on our own and make a farm. So the family builds a farm and they have a newborn baby. And an older sister is kind of supposed to watch over the baby and play with it. And so she's babysitting her younger brother and the kid gets kidnapped. And she's like playing peekaboo where you put your hands over your eyes and then do that. And she does it and then the baby's just gone. And they go out and try to look in the woods for it, and you eventually find out that there's a witch in the woods. And the witch isn't really that much in the movie, believe it or not. The movie is very much like suspenseful, atmospheric. It's lots of long panning shots, very like minimalistic soundtrack where it just kind of lets you take in the atmosphere. They're in the colonial era of America, so it's like no fucking civilization anywhere. And you kind of just, because the kid's missing, you kind of watch the family like start to break down mentally, and it's just really, really, really good. I can't praise that movie enough. It might have been my favorite movie of last year, and it's definitely one of my favorite horror movies. It legitimately like scared me, whereas most horror movies just startle you, or they might have like 1 or 2 creepy things. It was very unsettling. So that's my vote, and it's something I'm going to watch this weekend.
No.
I have a friend who's awesome to watch horror movies with because he gets scared really easily by jump scares and stuff like that, or just creepy things in general. So, and he will go "Eee!" and stuff like that and make funny, hilarious noises. So, I didn't get to watch it with him the first time. I want to watch it with him.
Me and Tets used to watch. We did it a few times, I think, growing up. Kankurimbo. It's a hide and seek anime where children play hide and seek in this town and wearing fox masks, and it's like it's got like demons and stuff. It's pretty cool. It's only like it's 25 minutes. I think it was like on Adult Swim or whatever for Halloween.
It sounds familiar. You know what, Mal? You should have said your favorite horror movie was Bloodborne.
It's not a movie.
I don't care. Whatever. Maybe I should have said horror piece of me. It was, man, Bloodborne's good. We talked about that last week a little bit.
Right.
I want to replay Bloodborne now.
You're just going to talk about Bloodborne every week.
Bloodborne, it's the new Cattywampus.
Bloodborne is amazing, though.
It is.
It's understandable.
It is. Man, that game's freaking scary, too. Like, there were parts where I got surprised. Like, I mean, because it obviously has, like, jump stuff where monsters come out and ambush you. Stuff, but just like Soulsborne, the atmosphere of that game was also very like creepy, especially when you start getting into Cthulhu stuff.
So good.
When you see all the giant monsters all over the buildings, the amygdalas, because you're on the first part of the game, you're on the side of town where it's just like the gothic horror, and literally the other side that you just couldn't get to yet is all the freaking Cthulhu monsters.
Well, it's as the moon progresses.
Yeah.
They're basically there all along. Because if you get 40 insight, you can see the invisible monsters early in the game.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep.
You've been granted eyes.
Yeah.
Eyes.
Oh, I love that game so much. But
I gotta play that game.
I would not consider it scary because I just don't know.
You're just detached.
Right.
You're so detached, Mel. All right, everybody. This has been episode 30, Podcast of Five Rings, your source of enlightenment in the realm of video games, tabletop, anime, film, and tech. Each episode of Podcast of Five Rings releases Monday mornings on iTunes and SoundCloud. Now talking about topic day by day on YouTube, with the full video releasing on Friday. Check us out on social media, Podcast 5R, Facebook, P5R Podcast. Many of them been streaming. Check them out on twitch.tv/PSO Flow. What do you guys got on the plan coming up? Are you going to keep doing Fire Emblem Warriors, or because you've beaten Tactics, you're through Fire Emblem Warriors unless you want to keep playing it?
Well, Saturday, unfortunately, this week we will not be streaming, but you won't know about that until after the fact. But the coming Wednesday, if you watch this on Monday, we'll actually potentially be playing Divinity Original Sin 2.
Oh, baby! I might watch you playing that.
I've been playing with our group, and unfortunately, we just haven't found a time. So one of them just eventually offered that he was like, we could just play when you stream, and I said, yeah, we could do that. And I mean, we have a lot of fun doing it, so. If you want to watch Divinity Original Sin 2, that's a great way to do it. We've got a murder hobo, a kleptomaniac death knight, a cowardly assassin, and one sane individual amongst us. So,
which one are you?
I'm the klepto death knight. I steal everything that's not bolted to the floor and that's worth money.
You should look up someone beating. Oh wait, you haven't actually beaten the first main boss. I was gonna say, someone beat the first main boss with by using every painting on the island and dropping it on them.
Oh my god,
that's amazing.
People have too much time on their hands.
We do. We're heroes on a budget. We will end up going around and stealing things from people, trying to metagame, not metagame, like min-max our like profit to profit the sales margin. So,
oh my god,
it's honestly pretty fun. We just did a stream on Wednesday, so that was really kind of more of a test run through. Hopefully, the future stuff will be even better.
All right, check them out and check us out next week when you listen to us again. Maybe we'll even have an L5R preview for you as well. Oh, man. Something spooky and scary. Ooh. Like a Manus Clan card. Oh my god! Happy Halloween, everybody. See you later. Bye.
Bye.